Hello and welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Our physical focus is quite a few things on the menu today. Our live community has requested a focus on opening up the shoulders, all throughout the legs and the lower back. So make it a whole body practice, as usual though. So grab a pillow, a bolster, a blanket, two blocks if you have them, in a strap, and let's start in any comfortable seated position. You might even like to sit up on any of your props, elevating your pelvis so that you can lengthen the spine and relax the hips. So we've been talking this week about, well, in the past few weeks, we've been reviewing the different practices that are included in yoga, called the 8 limbs of yoga according to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And we've been through the first limb, it's 5 practices, the second, and now we are on the third limb of yoga, which is called asana. Asana can be translated as the physical postures of yoga. Isn't that interesting? One of the 8 limbs is asana. So here is a quote by Maureen Murdoch. Have you ever noticed how eager young children are to learn about everything and how they are constantly moving while doing so, whether they are painting at an easel, stirring cake batter, or building blocks? Their whole body is involved, and learning occurs during this movement. A yoga posture is a whole body experience. As my practice deepens, this awareness deepens as well. Are the muscles of my face and neck relaxed? What is the attitude of my lips? What am I doing with my toes? Is there violence present in the way I maintain a posture? Fear, desire, greed? Does the breath flow freely to all parts of my body, or is it blocked by unnecessary tension? Do I deepen the posture through contraction or release? The inquiry is ever expanding. The inquiry is childlike. It is the movement of consciousness. It is wisdom in action. And this is from Meditations from the Mat. Just to bring a more holistic perspective to these yoga postures, though we might be focusing on the lower back in the single posture, the whole body is in the pose. And so can we bring the attention throughout the whole body as well? And I'll invite you to do that as we practice. Let's start first by checking in with ourselves. As you're sitting tall and relaxed, maybe closing the eyes, begin to notice whatever sensations you're experiencing in your body right now. Noticing without judging them as positive or negative, so that you can just be open through, be aware of what is. Sense the movement of the breath and how it's moving through you right now without changing the way you're breathing. And through the breath, observe your energy and how it feels right now. And bring your attention to your mind, sensing how you feel mentally. And to your heart, observing any emotions present in you. So that all we're doing right now is holding space for whatever you're feeling just as it is. Let's begin to deepen the breath, filling up through the nose and opening the mouth to exhale. A little deeper inhale through the nose. A little slower exhale through the mouth. Continue to deepen your breath little by little, stretching it a little more gently. both in and out. And I invite you to think of anything you can appreciate in this moment, opening our minds and our hearts through the practice of gratitude. And then I invite you to identify to yourself what you would like to cultivate by showing up in your practice today, setting your intention. And as remember that our practice is not only to serve us, but life around us as well. I invite you to think of someone that you could dedicate your practice to today. And together, let's open the practice by creating resonance, chanting together 3 ohms. So let's breathe in a little deeper. And breathing in slowly, breathing out just as slowly. If you can, close the lips and just breathe through the nose as we begin a breathing technique called Ujjayi Pranayama, which helps to focus the mind, relax the body, and balance our energy and how we approach the physical postures. So as you're closing the lips, gently constrict the back of the throat so that you can listen to a very faint and smooth whispering sound to the breath. Regulating your breathing so that it's calm and even. And as you continue to listen to that, let's make our way into hands and knees, all fours, tabletop. Spreading your fingers at the top of the mat, stack your shoulders on top of your wrists, and step your knees a couple of inches behind the hips. As you breathe in, glide your chest forward, entering cow pose, rolling your shoulders back and down. As you breathe out, contract your belly, dropping your head to round your back, cat pose. Let's try that a few more times to the breath pace. Inhale, glide your chest forward and coil it up. Exhale, pull in the belly, dropping the head slowly to dome the back. Keep going, maybe another 3 to 5 cycles of cat-cow pose. Betalasana. Now at the end of your next exhalation, tucking your toes, lift your hips as high as you can and press your thighs as far back as you can. Feel free to bend the knees here. In fact, let's allow a few breaths to pedal the feet in place. As you arrive in downward facing dog, slowly dropping one heel as you bend the opposite knee. And actively press the ground away with your fingers flat and spread so that you're also lifting your shoulders back, dropping your head as freely as you can. You might shake it no a few times while you're pedaling the feet. And you might nod the head yes a few times, really trying to relax the neck, relax the jaw. Now, on the next inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bending the right knee, rotate the thigh open at the hip. Staying here, inhale, draw your left outer hip back. Then softly as you can, exhale, step the right foot forward beside your right thumb. Set the left knee down and come up high on your fingertips. Now, if the ground feels too low to breathe well and relax the shoulders, grab your blocks and place your hands on the height of the blocks that you need to do this comfortably. Tucking the back toes with your legs hips width apart, bend the front knee directly on top of the ankle. As you breathe in, let your pelvis sink. So we're stretching into the groins, gaze up, the shoulders relax. Keep your feet where they are. And as you breathe out, lift the back knee. To your degree, straighten your legs by drawing your right outer hip back, lifting your chest, bow as if you have a flat back. So this is a wide pyramid pose. Let's go in and out of those two. Inhale, lower the back knee, kneeling lunge, look up. Exhale, lift the back knee. Draw the right hip back and fold, pyramid pose. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Come back to a kneeling lunge. Step the right knee behind you. Now keeping your hips directly above your knees. Knees are hips width apart, shins are parallel. With your hands on blocks, walk your hands forward as far as you can. Straighten the arms while pulling the hips back so they remain directly above the knees. Now firm in the belly here, right? Engage the belly. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. And imagine you're creating a flat back as you might even press the heels of your palms against the back edge of the blocks. And feel this lengthening into the lower back, the sides of the torso, and all throughout the spine. Elongate the neck. So you're stretching the crown of your head forward towards the space between the blocks. We're here for 3 more deep breaths. And try to spread your shoulder blades wide across the back ribs by spinning the outer sides of your upper arms towards the earth, your triceps towards the ground. 1 more deep breaths. Keep pulling in the belly. Then walk your hands closer to you until you can set the blocks to the sides and plant the hands on the floor, entering downward facing dog again. Let's pedal the feet again in place. And this time add to that, swiveling your hips side to side like you're dancing the twist. Breathing in deeply through the nose. Breathing out just as slowly through the nose. Smoothing out the transitions between the breaths. All right, let's come back through center. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and rotate the left thigh externally at the hip. Inhale, tack the right outer hip back. And as softly as you can, exhale, step the left foot forward beside your left thumb. Lower the right knee. Come up high on your fingertips. Maybe you place your hands in blocks, adjusting the height as you need so that your shoulders can relax down and you can breathe well. Make sure your legs are as wide apart as the hips. You're not on a tightrope. And your front knee is bent just on top of the ankle, not past it. Tucking the back toes. Breathe in and gaze up. Let your pelvis sink, stretching into your groins and inner thighs. Breathe out, lift the right knee. Begin to straighten both legs to your degree of comfort by drawing the left outer hip back while you bow as if you have a flat back. Inhale, kneeling lunge, gaze up. Exhale, wide pyramid pose. Try to let the movement last as long as each part of the breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, wide pyramid pose. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Set your right knee down, step the left knee hips distance from the right, and let's enter that puppy dog version again. So hands on blocks, hands about shoulders width apart. Keep your hips directly on top of your knees. Shins are parallel to each other. Engage your abdomen, support the lower back. Imagine you're trying to create a flat back as you straighten the arms by walking the hands as far forward as you can while keeping the hips right on top of the knees. How's your breathing here? Lengthen the crown of your head towards the ground between the blocks. So we're not dropping the head here. We're stretching the front and the back of the neck, and glide your shoulder blades back away from your ears while rotating your triceps or outer upper arms downward towards the ground. Notice what your facial muscles are doing right now. Is the tongue relaxed? Are the eyes soft? Bringing your awareness to the whole body experience of this asana. Tuning in for 3 more deep breaths. Can you actively stretch both forward and back through the fingertips reaching forward and the hips pulling back and the shoulders drawing back? All right, crawl the hands towards you and let's come up to sit in hero's pose. You can either sit on your calves directly, if that's a bit much for the knees. You can either grab a folded blanket, make it thicker to have more support for the knees, so you can adjust that. And you can place the blanket against the backs of the knees like this. Or if it's comfortable enough, you can place a block right between your ankles to sit on. Just make sure you're being safe with your knees by not turning out your feet or turning in your feet. Toes are pointed back because the knees are pointed forward. And then from here, let's take a strap, and holding the strap with your left hand, raise your left arm so the strap is dangling behind you from it. And with your right hand, rotate your left tricep forward. Bring the elbow behind the back of your head and press both shoulders down, lifting your chin so it's just parallel to the floor. Soften in the bottom of the front ribs. How's the breathing? Reach your right hand behind you underneath, catch the bottom end of the strap. Then walk your hands as close together as you can. Some of you might be able to clasp your hands and then let go of the strap. Whatever's available here. Keep relaxing the shoulders down, lifting up through the back of the skull, rooting down to your left and right sitting bones, sealing in the bottom of your front ribs. And then actively lengthen your lower back here by pressing the pelvis downward while lifting your back ribs away from the pelvis. Can you feel that? You might even feel the abdomen pull in a little bit. And then allow a wide breath across your collarbone. So the collarbones spread a little wider. See if you might be able to soften your shoulder bones back and melt them down. Visualize the area that is just beneath your shoulder blades. Invite a lift of your chest right from there, while still softening in the bottom front ribs. So we're not hyper arching the lower back here. You might start to tilt your gaze slightly upwards, and if you do, try to keep lengthening the back of your neck. A few more deep breaths here. Keep broadening the chest, relaxing the shoulders downward. Notice what your toes are doing in this pose. Notice what your tongue is doing in this pose. Last 2 deep breaths here, with arms in Gomukhasana, cow face pose. All right, let's raise the left arm, wrap the right arm behind your back, and cross the left hand to your right outer thigh, or as far in that direction as you can reach, while still lifting up through the spine. Keep the shoulders relaxed, breathe in here, keep the pelvis rooting down, and without moving your legs, twist to the right by turning the rib cage. Breathe in, press the pelvis down, lift up from the bottom of the spine to the crown. Keep the legs still and continue twisting. If you want to stretch your neck, you can look over your right shoulder, but keep relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the face, relaxing the eyes. 3 more deep breaths here. Now on the exhale, unwind from the twist and just shimmy out the shoulders. Maybe you roll them out. Okay, let's take the strap into the right hand and raise the right arm so the strap is hanging behind you. With your left hand, rotate your right tricep forward and bring your right bent elbow behind your head. Press both shoulders down, lift your chin parallel to the ground, and soften the bottom of your front ribs in towards your back. Reach your left hand behind you from underneath, catching the bottom end of the strap. Walk your hands as close together as you can. If it's available, clasp the hands and drop the strap. Sit up a little taller here, listening to your breathing. Inviting deep breaths to help broaden your collarbones, widen your chest. And with your exhales, can you allow your shoulder heads to soften behind you and release down? Pressing the pelvis downward into your seat, lift your back ribs, actively lengthen the lower back. And right underneath your shoulder blades, invite the lift of your chest, the back bend, without overarching the lower back. Keep lengthening the lower spine. As you might start to lift your gaze, continue to lengthen the back of your neck. Relax your eyes, your forehead, your eyebrows. And listen to about 4 or 5 more deep breaths here. Raising your right arm, wrap the left arm behind you, and Lengthen from the base of the spine to the top of the head as you breathe in. Keep the legs still and start to twist to your left side by rotating your rib cage, crossing the right hand against your outer left thigh or somewhere around there where you can reach. As long as you're still lengthening the spine vertically. The chest is broad, the shoulders are relaxing down. Press the pelvis downward and lift up through the back of the skull as you breathe in. Without turning the legs, continue turning your rib cage for several more breaths, exploring your range in the spinal twist. And to stretch your neck, you might look over the left shoulder. One more deep breath here. And exhale to unwind. Let's circle out the shoulders. So breathe in deeply as you float the shoulders forward and up. Open the mouth wide. Any sound, let it out, dropping the shoulders back. Inhale through the nose, float the shoulders forward and up. Open the mouth, exhale, shoulders back and down. One more time. Let's reverse the shoulders. Inhale, shoulders behind you and up. Maybe this time you flutter the lips to help relax the jaw. Couple more. All right, let's take the two blocks, place them on their second level height, the medium height, and place them wide across the top of your mat, touching each other. With your knees about a foot behind the blocks, extend your arms forward, palms facing down. Spiral your outer upper arms downward to spread the shoulder blades apart while you press the shoulders down the back. Bending your elbows, place them exactly your shoulders distance apart onto the blocks. Press your fingertips against each other and connect to your breathing. Step your knees back until they're a couple of inches behind your hips. Firming in the belly slightly to support the lower back, trace your thumbs down the back of your skull, towards down the back of your neck, as far back as you can trace your thumbs, while still keeping the elbows, shoulders distance apart, not wider. Letting your chest expand and sink towards the earth. Soften the shoulders back, letting the head fall to rest, while you draw your sitting bones towards your rear wall, lengthening the sides of your torso and your lower back. Let's listen to about 8 or so more slow breaths. As you firm in the belly a bit stronger, lift up and off the blocks. Placing your hands on the floor, come into tabletop. And let's circle the pelvis sideways for a few breaths, sinking the hips through child's pose and laterally rotating the pelvis, coming forward and off to the other side. And just circling the pelvis organically, maybe even turning the head.
exploring a few more cycles of breath, moving however your body needs to loosen up here. So we're going to be stretching the quadriceps. You may like to have cushion for underneath your knees as we come into lizard lunge. And if you want that cushion, you can place your blanket at the thickness that you need across the center of your mat. Stepping on the blanket with your knees, place the hands forward of the blanket and raise the right leg behind you. Step the right foot forward to the right side of your right hand so your legs are wider apart than hips distance. Making sure the front knee is only on top of the heel, not in front of the heel. Scoot your left knee back, maybe an inch or two, so that as you lean your torso forward, oh, and also if you want to place your hands on blocks here to make it more accessible, because we're going to reach for the back foot with the right hand, you could even stack 2 blocks on their lowest height under the left hand, which will give you a lot more access to reaching the right arm back. So bend the left knee, lean the torso forward so your weight is not on the kneecap, it's on the thigh. And backstroke your right arm, which will open up the front of the shoulder, catching hold of your left foot. Also, if it's hard to reach, you can try to lasso the top of your foot with your strap. But I find propping the left hand high enough on blocks can give access. Now, as you're leaning the torso forward, you're bringing the left heel towards your glutes, just gently, breath by breath. Some of you might find it okay to just have the left hand on the floor or to place the left forearm on the ground. See what's available for you. And if you want to get a little more stretch into your IT band area of the right outer thigh, flex your right foot, curling the toes up towards the right kneecap, while splaying the right thigh open, just enough so you're leaning on the outer foot, but you're not sickling the foot in which you rotate onto the outer ankle. Draw your right outer hip towards the rear edge of your mat. Soften both shoulders, especially the left shoulder, down your back. And lengthen your torso forward towards the front of the mat. Breathing in to wherever your body is really asking for your attention, if so. Breathing out, relaxing any unnecessary tension you might observe, whether it be in the left hip flexor, in the inner right shoulder, or somewhere else in the body. We're here for about 1.5 minutes longer. You might be scanning throughout your physical body mentally here, like we did in the beginning of the practice. And notice your whole body experience in this asana. Let's exhale one more breath out. And gently release your back leg. Place both hands in front of you. Let's slide into child's pose for a few breaths, bringing the inner edges of your feet together to touch at the back of the mat. Knees can be together or apart. It's up to you, whatever's more comfortable. Resting your forehead either on a prop, your arms, or the ground. And placing your arms wherever it's comfortable. We're just here for maybe 5 to 7 breaths. Just let the body sink. Let it allow a feeling of grounding as you tune into the breath. Crawling your hands to the floor just outside of your knees. Slowly roll your spine upright so that you can walk the hands forward. Back to tabletop, knees on the blanket if you're using one. And once you're on all fours, breathe in to raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the left foot on the left side of your left hand for a wider version of a kneeling lunge. Make sure that your front knee is directly on top of your front heel, but not in front of the heel. Notice if it's helpful to prop your hands on blocks, or since you know we're going to bend the back knee and reach for the foot, you can help it become more accessible by stacking 2 blocks under the right hand. Scoot your right knee back maybe an inch or 2 so that as you're leaning your torso forward and bending the right knee, you're not digging the kneecap into the ground. Your weight is on the thigh. Backstroke your left arm so you're opening the front of the left shoulder and reach hold of your right foot. Maybe you lasso it with a strap. Maybe you make the blocks higher under the right hand, or maybe it's reachable to lower the right hand on the floor or to lower the right forearm, not forcing anything, but listening to your body, responding. And if you did so on the first side, that turning out of the front leg, make sure that you're flexing your left foot by curling the toes up towards the left kneecap. This helps to stabilize the left knee so you're not laterally twisting it, making sure you're rotating the left thigh from the hip socket, leaning the outer edge of the left foot onto the ground without rolling onto the outer ankle. So as you're leaning your torso towards the front wall, tack your left outer hip towards the back wall. Listen to the quality of your breath. We're here for about 1.5 minutes longer. All right, one more deep breath here. Be gentle as you start to transition back to child's pose again. Feet together, touching, knees together or apart. Resting your head down. Use a prop if you need. Relaxing your arms. Just a few breaths here. Let your body sink into the earth, inviting a feeling of grounding. One more deep breath. Crawl your fingertips to the ground outside of your knees. And slowly inhale as you roll your spine upright again. This time, let's bring the legs out in front of you. Grab a strap and come to lie down on your back. Let's start in Apanasana, Ardha Apanasana, bending the right knee towards your chest, taking hold of your right thigh or shin. You can rotate the right foot in both directions for a few breaths here. So half wind relieving pose. Slide your pelvis maybe 3 to 5 inches towards the right edge of your mat. And with the left leg straight ahead on the ground, step the ball of your right foot into the strap, whether it's the loop or the center of the strap. Hold the strap in your left hand. So right foot in the strap, left hand holding the strap. Use your right thumb to press your outer right hip forward as you sickle your right foot. So from the ankle, turn the sole of your right foot to face the left wall. So as you're drawing the right outer hip forward, feel the effect of lengthening the right side of your torso. Now, even though you're going to remove the right thumb, can you continue to draw the right hip forward like that? Open the right arm out to the right on the floor, ground the right shoulder, maybe gaze past it, and just little by little start to cross the right leg over your body to the left for a spinal twist. Keep tacking the right outer hip forward with your imaginary thumb. Pressing the right shoulder into the ground as you find the range of your twist here. Breath by breath. So you might find that action of drawing the right outer hip forward allows you to create a deeper stretch in the lower back. Last 2 deep breaths here. Rolling onto your back, lift the right leg straight up towards the sky, hold the strap with 2 hands, and square your hips towards the ceiling. So both frontal hip bones are equally facing upwards. The feet are parallel to each other. Straighten the right leg, and if that's a bit much for your right hamstring, bend the left knee as much as you need. But try to keep the right leg straight without locking the knee. Flex your right quadricep. You can even palpitate that front muscle of the thigh to help contract the muscle. That helps to support the hamstring as we're stretching it. And then breath by breath, bring the right leg towards you while flexing the right foot, which is also kicking the strap away while you pull the strap closer. Slide the shoulders down the back.
If your left leg is straight, flex your left foot too and press the mound of your left big toe forward, preventing turning out the left leg. If you can reach without rounding the back, you can hold the back of your right calf or heel. Last couple of breaths. Let's remove the strap and slide the right leg flat on the floor. Bend the left knee into your chest and pause here for a few breaths, circling the left foot in both directions in Ardha Apanasana, half wind relieving pose. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed on the ground, head resting down. Now let's slide the pelvis closer to the left edge of your mat. Step the ball of the left foot into the strap. Flex the left foot as it kicks away the strap, straightening the leg to your degree. Hold the strap in your right hand and use your left thumb. Hook your outer left hip crease and press it forward to help lengthen the left side of your torso. Sickle your left foot. So from the ankle, turn the sole of the left foot to face the right wall. And then as you continue to draw the left outer hip forward, no longer using your thumb, slide your left arm wide to the left on the floor. Ground the left shoulder, maybe gaze past it and start to cross the left leg over your body to the right side, entering very slowly a spinal twist, breath by breath. Feel your imaginary thumb continue to press the left outer hip forward. Only go as deep into the twist where you can still press the left shoulder on the ground. If the left shoulder has risen, you've gone too far. Then just back off and reconnect the shoulder to the floor. A few more deep breaths here. One more deep breath. Start to roll onto your back. Hold the strap with two hands as you straighten left leg towards the sky, flexing the left foot and kicking the strap away with it. Now, as the left leg remains straight, you might palpitate the left quadricep, the front muscle of the thigh, to help contract the quadricep to support the hamstring, but make sure you're not locking the knee. Now, if the left hamstring is really feeling tight, you might bend the right knee to however much you need so that you're not causing strain. But if you are able to straighten the right leg, flex the right foot and press the instep of the right foot forward. While you bring the left leg closer to you, relax the shoulders. How's your breathing? If you can reach without straining or rounding the shoulders, you can hold the back of your left leg. Last 3 breaths here. Let's remove the strap and bend both knees into your chest. Any kind of movement here to finish off and prepare for corpse pose. Maybe you come into happy baby, maybe you straddle the legs wide, maybe you rotate the thighs together and apart. Maybe you lift the legs straight up. Let's clear out a few big releasing exhales through the mouth, releasing any sound with lion's breath. So inhale fully through your nose.
Let it out. Try once or twice more on your own before you splay out the legs and arrive in Shavasana. Feel free to use your props to support your body in any way to help you and your body relax more deeply into stillness. If you have an eye pillow, that can be relaxing. If you have a weighted blanket to place over the pelvis, that can feel grounding. Then closing your eyes, release control of the breath. Let yourself sink into simply observing without judging, especially what you notice internally.
As your body rests here with the eyes closed, notice how your body feels right now. Observe the effects of your asana yoga practice. Be gentle as you begin moving your body to slowly wake it up, easing into stretching. Gradually turn over onto your right side and rest your head for a few moments there, observing your breathing, feeling your energy. When you feel ready, press into the ground and lift your body up to a comfortable seated position where we can sit for 5 minutes in meditation. As you're sitting tall, relaxed, grounded, maybe with the eyes closed or downcast gaze, you may like to rest your hands in a neutral, focusing mudra of stacking the palms face up on the center of your lap with your thumb tips gently touching. Going to invite you into resonant breathing to start. This style of breathing is very soft. We're not trying to create a whispering sound like ujjayi. Really focus on gentle, smooth breathing. I'll count from 5 as we breathe in through the nose, and from 5 as we breathe out through the nose. Let's try that a few times together and a few times on your own. Empty this breath to prepare. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counting on your own. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Try another 3 cycles on your own. And when you're done, just breathe naturally and rest your awareness gently on the feeling of the breath coming in and releasing in its natural flow. If your attention wanders away from the breath, relax back into the feeling of the breath as many times as your attention wanders. Think of it as giving your mind a rest. Notice how your body feels again as you've been focusing your attention. Does your body feel relaxed? Is there any strain anywhere? How does your mind feel right now? How do you feel emotionally? Just like we check in when we're practicing physical yoga in all the different parts of the body, how might you integrate that awareness as you move throughout your day, as you move throughout your daily activities? Just pausing to do a quick check-in and notice how you are balancing your energy, just like in the asanas. I invite you to take a moment to thank yourself, thank this body, anything you want to thank as we bring our practice to a close. Remind yourself what the intention was that you showed up with. And think of that someone that you chose to dedicate today's practice to. And together, let's join our voices again, chanting Om 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Bowing in, recognizing the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.